I've been affected by the collective, inspired once more to recreate. I've walked 10,000 dreams in a feedback loop, it seems, chronicling the stories of my fate. Hey folks, this is just a quick one, because I have found a curiosity to me, and I cannot tell whether it's something to do with my autism, that I'm just not getting what is going on. And this might be that, oh, everyone knows that, you know, but I saw an experiment on YouTube, and I'm not a practical chap at all, but it was simple. I thought, I can do that, and so I did. And it turned out, it appears that something is going on which goes against what I was taught at school regarding electricity. So this is just for context. I'm about to perform a final experiment. There are no calculations, no mathematics. I haven't done any of that because I don't know what's going on. Don't know what I'm measuring. But I am measuring. So I'm taking false gears, time. They're really all I've got to measure. So I'll give you all the details, but this was what sparked my curiosity. I'll show you the diagram in a second. I was taught that electricity flows from the negative to the positive, and that when they made the decision of what to call the plus and minus ends, they had a 50-50 chance of getting the direction of flow right, and they got it wrong. So I just remember that. So it flows from negative to positive. A simple old-fashioned torch used to have two batteries of 1.5 volts, I think. They were wired in series, which meant that you would double the voltage. If they were wired in parallel, the voltage is the same, but you double the amperage, my recollection. So the old torches, as the diagram shows, two batteries wired in series with a switch connected to a bulb. The bulb is the load. That's what uses the flow of the electricity. That's, you know, what I was taught. And the torch, you'd run it till the batteries were flat, then you'd replace the batteries. This is practical stuff, no maths. So I thought, well, I've got some batteries lying around. I can try this different wiring setup that's been suggested and see whether the proposition is true. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a bulb, but I found a motor, a fan, 12-volt fan, 0.7 watts. I don't know what that means exactly, sort of. You know, I know power measured in watts equals voltage multiplied by amperage. Was it P equals V times R? No, V times I. Anyway, I haven't done that. That's the point. What I did was take a fully charged 9-volt battery which measured, I'm going to do it again and give you those results. But fully charged 9-volt battery, 150 milliamp hours. That would run the load, the fan motor, for a length of time before the motor stops spinning. The battery would then have a lower voltage, the amount, and obviously lost the current. But that is a measurable amount of time that will run a load. And so if I have 4 batteries, one would think the maximum I can run the load for will be 4 times the length of time a single battery will run the load. Now there are some problems with this, I realise, which I will go through on the experiment itself. But in my simplistic mind, electricity flows in one direction and is consumed by the load. Now at the very least, what this different wiring system shows to me is that electricity doesn't quite work how I thought it did, at least, because the load is being split on the positive. 2 positives wired and one end is to the negative. However, the concept that I do understand, which it's trying to portray, I think, is that if you imagine the metaphor of electricity being like water, then if you have a glass of water that you pour into another glass, and in between you've got a water wheel, you haven't lost any volume, but you have extracted an amount of energy. And it had occurred to me that when people talk about generating electricity, they always seem to say, yes, but you need a prime mover. You can't generate electricity without a prime mover. Okay, well, what is a prime mover? I know what I think it is, because the way nature works is it has a differential. And whenever there is a differential, either height, heat, whatever it is, nature seeks to balance. That's observable, it's just how it works. Like hot air doesn't rise, hot air expands, and the denser air comes in and forces the hot air up. That's what's going on. It's this seeking out balance and density. I know they're the laws of thermodynamics, but it all ties together. What this with the electricity thing, I don't know. But it's a test that people can do, or they can just tell me why I've missed the point totally and it's something obvious is going on. So, thank you for your time and your comments. If they are enlightening or illuminating, they're all welcome. In fact, even the disparaging comments. You can throw your rocks and I'll happily dodge and weave. So, cheers folks, catch you all on the other side. So, here we go, starting the final test and just documenting what I am measuring. So, try and do this one-handed. This battery, all 4 are 9-volt, 150 milliamp hours rechargeable nickel metal halide batteries, identical. They have all been charged for 8 hours. However, this pair on the left were overnight, so if they're self-discharging, they should, I suppose, be slightly lower. But anyway, So here's the measurements. First battery, 9.62/3. Second battery, 9.63. Third, whoop, wrong way around. Third battery, 9.68/9, which is more recent. And same with the final one. Couldn't use chopsticks. 9.67/8. So, what I'm going to now do is, according to this this new wiring circuit, recognizes a differential. So if I take the two weaker batteries and wire them in parallel, and the two stronger batteries and wire them in series, I have 18 volts in series, 9 volts parallel. According to this, I take the two batteries wired in series, I connect the negative, there's no switch, it's just when you connect them. Connect the negative to the negative of this, or that, because they're in parallel, so it doesn't matter. You then take the positive from the parallel, and I'm pretty sure it's the negative. See, this, one of the problems I had is that I know conceptually what a diode is. However, I don't recognize when I'm using one. So this 12 volt, I don't know whether you can see that or not. Is it focusing? Focus, damn you. I don't know. Anyway, it is DC 12 volts, 0.7 watts, made by Sunon. What I didn't realise was that it's actually a diode, because the negative and positive of, say, this, despite it having a negative and a positive, it doesn't matter which way round on a battery. Like that's positive, negative. Like that's the other way round. And if I turn them round, oh, so it's the correct way, spins. Doesn't matter which way round. That's just DC motors for you. However, this DC motor, because it's brushless, it may well have electronics in there that somehow make the electricity one directional. Because I, after the first test, thought it had failed, because I put the wiring the wrong way round and the motor didn't spin. So, but like I say, live and learn. Well, I don't say that, other people say that. So, test is going to start. We know that these two are going to be the ones in parallel. should have used the stand like I used earlier, so I could use both hands, but in fact I'll just put the camera down for a second. So when I put these two together, the fan will start. I'm going to start timing it. Oh, I've got to do that on my phone. So I'll end this and now start the timing. So this is now just the setup running. What I have observed previously is that over time the fan gradually changes its tone as it slows down. And I have sat for many hours over recent date. No, it might have even extended to weeks by now, I'm not sure. But listening to the two different sounds, I don't know whether the phone will pick it up, but there's the rotation of the fan that's creating the air that's flowing through it creates a relatively high pitch noise, but then there's the pulsing sound of the motor, and as the voltage drops it starts to slow, and you can hear that the pulsing, it's like it's under load. You know, with an engine, that if you're in the wrong gear, the engine is having to work too hard, and you can hear it. So you drop it from third to second and the engine's happy again. It picks up because you're in the right gear for the speed, and maybe this has got something like that. I'm really not sure. What I do know is that this idea of wiring this in between two positives, I wasn't taught anything like that at school. There's something strange appearing to me. And what will happen is that at some point this will slow to such a degree that there's not enough energy in the series batteries. I'm assuming it's going that way because that's the higher potential difference. That's 18 volts. There'll be not enough oomph to get that past its minimal amount of energy required to start it. So the rotors will stop. At that point, I'm going to switch these batteries over, and I'm assuming the same thing will happen as has happened over many tests. That'll start back up again, and it'll run for a not too dissimilar length of time. It will be less, but it's still weird. And the same thing will happen again. I'll keep doing it until neither set of batteries are able to get that to move. So I'll have my baseline, which was fully charged 9.6 volt battery, would run that motor for 1 hour and 6 minutes. So that's my baseline. I need to be getting more than 4 hours 24 minutes motion to have improved efficiency. Well, I don't know about improved efficiency even, but I've got more energy out than 4 single batteries. Anyway, let the test continue. Okay, so the fan abruptly stopped after 2 hours and 7 minutes, which is considerably longer than I was expecting. So I am going to quickly measure the voltages of the batteries. So these are the parallel, lower voltage to start with. Okay, they're now measuring 9.81. And 9.881. So the series batteries .76. 8.1716. Okay, so that's the voltage. And now I'll put the camera down for a second. I've swapped them. I thought I'd put a timer on this, and hopefully you'll hear when I connect it that the speed goes back up a lot, but we'll see. This is the test now starting. I'm starting the timer now. Well, we're over 3 hours now on this second rotation, or first rotation, and I am struggling to believe what I am seeing, because it's too good to be true. I've got longer out of the second set of batteries. How is that? Oh, it's just stopped. That second, I hope I caught that. Right. Parallel. Do them in a minute. Okay, so the batteries in parallel now measure. First one, that's measuring 9.66, 67, 64, 66. Jumping about a bit, but. And the other one, 9.67, fairly steady. Okay, so 7.9 volts on the first battery. And 6.28 on the second. So, switch these over, put the camera down for a second. Here we go again, folks. You got that time? 9:09. And it's off. And I will now start the stopwatch. Okay. It's now 1 hour, 33 minutes into the third rotation. And I want to go to bed. I'm old and tired. And this has exceeded my expectations way too much. So I am going to leave this running for however much longer it goes, and tomorrow morning I will measure the voltages, swap them, and I assume it will start up again. Okay, night night, sleep well. Okay, we are 5:49 in the AM. These, how can I be getting point? The parallel. That's 9.48. So then the ones that were in series, okay. Shine the light. Oh, for God's sake. 6.41. 4.26. Okay, so I'll swap them over. What's going to happen? I think we know. Another way. So we're off again. 5:53. Okay, it was an hour and 5 minutes, and the rotor stopped. So parallel. Oh. 9.28. Nine point three. Series batteries. going up. Slower, but still going up for some reason. Ooh. .92, 7.93. Let's check the other one again. 6.49. Seems to have stabilised around about there, but still. Right, swap them over. Camera down for a sec. We're off again. Right. It's definitely winding down now because we only got 21 minutes out of that last rotation. So I'll do one more voltage check and rotation. Okay. .78. 8.78. 5:30-ish. And 8:31. Wonder whether one of these batteries got a Duff cell. And swap them over now. Oh, one last time. $7:27 in the morning. What a life. See, it's definitely not as it's most happy. By the way, this thing, this idea, apparently is not new. It's like from the 1800s. So, you know. Hey, finally stopped. I can now officially end this experiment. 7:43 in the morning. So this is the final voltage check. The batteries that were in parallel that's 8.85. The other one 8.88. The ones that were in series. Ooh. 6 point, but climbing, it's weird, I don't quite. And the other one 7.08, 9, 10, 11, but still 7:45 AM and it ends finally. And so, Your Honour, to summarise, I would submit to you, no, I don't even really know how to round this up, but even if one 9-volt battery had given me an hour and a half, 4 9-volt batteries, one would have thought, would still only give me 6 hours. I got 8.5 to 9. I don't know about the stuff when I fell asleep, but it was measured over 8.5. And I don't know exactly, I don't know anything exactly. I may have suspicions. I hope you have found this interesting and that I have not just been displaying my foolishness, which is quite possible, but it's curious to me because, like I say, I haven't seen this splitting the positive thing, so it is what it is. Catch you all on the other side.